Hey everybody, it's Renee. I just wanted to share with you my hair routine. This is me getting ready to wash, condition, deep condition, and style my hair. And my hair has been out of a protective style for 2 or 3 days, maybe longer. And this is what it's looking like. I'm gonna try to just let the video be watched. If I have any helpful notes, I will add them, but other than that, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. So to get started, I like to use this oil in basically every step of doing my hair. That was a mixture of water, tea tree oil, rosemary oil, and a little bit of Jamaican black castor oil. I just really like how it invigorates my scalp at every step, and it's really helpful. So yeah. One thing I've learned doing my hair in its natural state is I always make clean parts, just because it reduces the risk of me getting tangles and knots in my hair. By clean parts, I don't mean like they're perfectly straight or anything like that. I mean like there's no hair going from 2 different sections. Just like I said, it reduces the likelihood of knots and like breakage for me and stuff like that. So I like to focus that mixture on my ends mostly because they're the driest usually and the oldest. And I start at the ends of my hair and work my way up. When detangling, that's anytime I'm combing my hair basically. But I'm gonna just do that within the, ooh, that face. I'm just gonna do that within the whole section. Sometimes I break down the sections as much as I need to, just to make sure I'm not gonna end up breaking off any of my hair. You may not need to break your hair into as many sections as I do, but to each their own. Every nap and curl is different, but all beautiful. So after I finish each section, I just like to put it back up with the ouchless elastic thing. I don't do any more than 3 loops just because, like I said, I like to reduce tangling. Sometimes I only even do 2 loops, but I just go through each section and detangle like that. It's quite normal. I just wanted to note, you'll see in a second in one of the clips that I have different textures in my hair. Majority of the texture in the back of my head is a wavy, looser curl, as you can see on the right, and then the front and like crown area of my head is a lot kinkier. That's just what the world gave me, and I love both patterns equally, and you should too, however many patterns you have in your head. But after doing that, I like to spray all that oil around my head, that mixture, and I like to use it to loosen up any dirt and stuff on my scalp because I'm getting ready to wash my hair. I like to use my little vibrating shampoo brush to do that. It feels good, y'all. So I didn't want to film in my shower, but how I wash my hair is I take my little cup, I pour water on each section, and I take my shampoo and I put that on my scalp, about that amount that I'm going to show you, and I use my little vibrating shampoo head thing to work that onto my scalp, and then whatever drains down through the rest of the section is just what's on my ends. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse that out and show you what my hair looks like with the conditioner in it. That's my hair with the conditioner in it. It's tea tree conditioner. Just from Dollar Tree. I don't really care too much about what like rinse out conditioner or shampoo I use. I like to leave it in there for 10 minutes though. And that is my hair when it is rinsed out. I like to rinse it with cold water just to help seal the cuticle. And then I air dry it for a little bit just so it's damp, because I'm going to deep condition next. So I like to use a hooded dryer. I feel like it penetrates my hair better. And I'm using this deep conditioning mask by a company. It's for dry and damaged hair, and I do have really dry hair.
So you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Stings the nostrils.
But what I like to do is I take a good amount and I focus it on my ends, which are the oldest, and I like to comb it through the whole section. If anyone has another idea for a good deep conditioning mask for like dry hair, let me know. But I also like to take Jamaican black castor oil, and I take like a quarter sized amount and I focus it on my ends and then comb that through as well. And I like to work that through the whole section with my pick just to make sure all the hair gets coated, and I pin it out of the way and go on to the next section. Once all those sections are done, I like to take my oil mixture. Once again, I told y'all I'm going to use this in every step. And I like to add a little bit of moisture to each puff and the whole of my head. And I put on my conditioning cap, and then I put it's actually a shower cap over it, but it works either way. And I make sure everything's sealed in well. And I sit under my dryer for 45 minutes to an hour, just depending on how much time I have or what I feel like I need. And I turn it off, but then let it cool 10 minutes with the heat and the cap still on my head, just to let everything seal in there well. And that is my hair when it is rinsed out and it's air dried after the deep conditioning. It looks loved is what it looks like, and I'm happy. So I like to put in some leave-in conditioner for Miss Jessie's while my hair is still a little bit damp, especially since I'm getting ready to style it. And I focus it mostly on the ends because, like I said, my ends are the oldest and I do have drier ends. And I like to comb that through with my wide tooth comb. The protective style that I am doing is African hair threading. I am not a pro at it by any means. I will put some videos that I use to teach myself how to do it, because I don't want to tell y'all the wrong thing, because I do stuff differently than what I am supposed to do, but it works for my hair. A tip I can tell you is to use a thread cutter instead of having to use scissors, because your hands are already busy, so a thread cutter makes it easier. When doing the African hair threading, I like to use a mixture of that hair mayonnaise and that Cantu butter. So I'm just going to hush up and let you guys watch. If you have any questions or comments about how I'm doing my version of African hair threading, like I said, it's not the way that one would normally do it, but it works for my hair, then leave comments down below. My way of doing it is probably much more likely to tangle your hair, but it works for me. And yeah. Something I can say is you don't want to put too much tension at the root of your head, just because, just like with getting braids that are too tight or anything like that, you don't want to pull on your hair like that, because that can cause a breakage. Make sure it's stretched but not too tight. Another thing about it is, about styling, is that you don't want to think about it too much as you're doing it. Like when I learned how to braid my own hair, thinking about how my hands, quote unquote, should go does complicate things because you're overthinking it. So once your hands find a rhythm that works for you, then you can basically go on to autopilot almost. So if you're trying to teach yourself or trying to learn how to do any hairstyle really, like see how it's done, but when you're practicing, just try to find a good rhythm for yourself, and then it starts to get easier as many times as you do it. This right here is my 3rd time doing African hair threading, and sometimes I do still fumble about it, and I think that's just because I don't do it the exact way that I've seen everyone else do it, but it does get a lot easier as you progress. By the way, the day that I am putting these into my hair was July 22nd, which was a Saturday. I plan on trying to leave these in my hair for 3 weeks. The last time I did them, I left them in for 2 weeks, and I liked how my hair felt and everything. But this video I'm going to use as like a progress for myself, just to see how well my hair retains moisture and stuff like that. So if you're interested in seeing those results, please let me know. This is my hair all done. None of the sections are even, but they look good and they work for what I'm going to wear them for. I like to put lavender oil on my scalp just because it makes my hair smell nice, but I also mix it with castor oil sometimes just to make sure that my roots and stuff are staying conditioned. And I wrap it up to shape the hair the way I want to wear it, because I usually wear a scarf. But yeah, that is how I style my hair. I hope you enjoyed.